Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Rockets look to take off here in Dallas in this Texan rivalry. They were just in Detroit and were defeated by the Pistons. And boy, they really got humiliated at home. They got flat out dominated in that game, guys.
You know, you hate to use this word, but I really felt like it was a sorry effort that they put forth on the defensive side.
Boy, that's pretty harsh from you, Greg, but you're right. I mean, too many times we saw them slow to set up and get on deep or late on their rotation, and they paid a big price for it.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Houston, Marvin Williams is out there with Batum. Then there's Howard. And there's Kemba Walker. And it's Harden in the 2 spot. Here's Parsons. Nobody near Williams. It's good from about 19 feet. Williams has got his first points of the night. Dirk Nowitzki, what can you say? Future Hall of Famer, too many accolades to list. The most important NBA champion and Greg Finals MVP in 2011.
Yeah, and Kevin, history has proven time and time again, you really need a future Hall of Famer on your team to win a championship. Just look at all the teams that have won the title through the years.
And Williams, here we go. Nobody near Parsons. Nowitzki kicks to Parsons. Dallas moving the ball around. And that one's good.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for Wesley Matthews. One thing that can be said for Dirk is that he has been incredible in terms of an ambassador for the game. We know he's a Hall of Fame player, but what he's done off the floor and just everything for the European player coming into this league has been groundbreaking.
And Kevin, for me, he was an inspiration. I mean, he really opened the doors for a lot of European players to come over, and not just come over, but to be impactful. As you mentioned, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that really has set the stage for this infusion of making our game truly global.
And even 3-on-3 break. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious. And, you know, you think about Dirk's impact. Certainly the NBA saw more and more European players come over after Dirk. He wasn't the first Euro, but he certainly has been perhaps the most popular.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes. Williams kicks to Walker. Kicks it out to Harden. 4 on the clock. Houston needs to get a shot off from 20 feet out. And Nicholas Batum, the bucket on the assist by Harden.
And one thing that should be noted with Dirk and his opening up of things with Europe, we now see a lot of American players go to Europe to play, to develop skills, and so on. Both leagues benefit greatly from the impact of Dirk Nowitzki.
Now here's Walker, following the miss by Chandler Parsons. Here's Muhammad. It's rebounded by Houston.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
It's Howard with the drive. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it. Man, can you always depend on him or what? to lead you to the right place with that pass. Money.
Now here's Walker. Really had troubles in the loss to Detroit. And even 3-on-3 break. Pachulia, no luck. Houston in the lead. It's Harden with the drive. Rejected by Nowitzki.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
That's good.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. And Chandler Parsons really set off a Texas rivalry last year, drafted by the Rockets in the second round. He received an offer sheet in free agency for the team's rival, the Dallas Mavericks. Eventually chose Dallas, injured in the playoffs, hurt a knee, only played the one game. But I think they've got great things ahead for him with the Mavs.
Yeah, you know, Parsons was a restricted free agent, so that meant the Rockets could match if they wanted to, but they declined to match Dallas's offer, which sent Parsons packing just up the road in Texas.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Nene, he's checked in for Pachulia. Lee comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Barea subbed in for Darren Williams.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Now here is Augustine. Kicks it to Mba Amute. At the top of the key, Curry. Lets it go with a 3. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. The pass to Parsons. The tray. And that one's good. Parsons got his first 3 points of the game.
You know, back to the topic of Parsons' free agency, the offer from the Mavs was 3 years, $46 million. Houston didn't want to go that high, so they reluctantly let Parsons leave. Ultimately, Houston filled Parsons' small forward role with the signing of Trevor Ariza. Not bad.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
And talking about the Texas showdown over Parsons last year, even his teammates got involved. After Parsons left, James Harden reacted saying that Dwight Howard and Harden were the cornerstones of the Rockets. But that's probably nothing compared to the rivalry that the two teams' ownerships felt.
Felton can't get it to go.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup. Such a height mismatch out on the perimeter, and they give up the triple.
Barea kicks to Felton. Parsons, right side. Good, it's Barea who picks up the assist. And that's now 6 points for Chandler Parsons. The offense coming. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Dallas.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out, it's coming in transition.
Here's Walker. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Nowitzki is out there with Nene. Then there's J.J. Barea. Then there's Shabazz Muhammad. And it's Matthews in the 2-guard. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
Jeez, maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Is that what you think?
Absolutely.
Instead, it had the opposite effect. He looked foolish.
To the inside. Batum. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Batum's got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, the Rockets were able to make it to the second spot in the West at the very end of the season. Actually came down to the last day. They could have ended as low as 6th going into the final games.
Here's Batum after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. Outside, Walker. 6 on the shot clock. Three-pointer. Muhammad grabs the board. Mavericks leading by 9. It's tipped. Goodwin with the steal. Oh, and here comes Goodwin all alone.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And so here is Houston. The Mavericks making the shot. Stolen by Nene. Here's Muhammad. There's the basket and making a double-digit lead. And now it's an 11-point Dallas lead.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Nene. And it's Williams in for J.J. Barea. Now, here's Walker. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Harden. The kick out to Walker. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Just a total loss of concentration right there.
And, Greg, if they continue to make those kinds of mistakes, then this game could turn even more. South on him.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
Listen, you got James Harden, clearly the front runner for the best shooting guard in the NBA, arguably in the conversation for the best player in our league. And listen, he's a league leader in scoring a season ago. He's a one-man wrecking crew offensively.
Now here's Harden. He's got 8. And stolen by Darren Williams. Feeds it to Muhammad. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And James Harden really an offense unto himself, as Greg was just talking about. They had a stat which combined 3-pointer made and 3-point makes created with the pass. Harden was first, and Clark, it wasn't even close.
Well, that was a mouthful in terms of breaking down those analytics, but I tell you what, he does a great job of attacking and finding teammates for threes. I can put it simply that way.
Pachulia dishes to Nowitzki. Some nice passing here by Dallas. The kick out to Matthews. Clock at 6. The dish to Muhammad. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Now here's Williams. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Howard, the pass to Walker. And that one goes long.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning. Oh, just rising up. Just a phenomenal finish.
Greg, if you're going to pull off a move like that, you got to have some major hang time.
And the jam by Harden.
You got to have some guts and guile to take it to the bucket strong despite the big fella standing in the way.
Dallas might always be considered a football town, but they take their basketball seriously here too. Huge attendance numbers, a long string of games for consecutive sellouts for the Mavs, not only last season, but for many years gone by.
And how about being third in the league in average attendance? And by percentages, they were first as they oversold the capacity of their stadium on average.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
You know, for the Mavs fans filling up the building, they had good reason to. I mean, really strong 27-14 record for the Mavericks at home last season.
Some changes. Lee's checked in for Nowitzki. Chandler Parsons comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. That's Felton in for Matthews. Spencer Hawes is checked in for the Rockets. Temple comes in for Nicholas Batum. Good.
And it's been a long time since the Mavs have had a losing record here at home. Their strength in Dallas is part of why they've been a contender for the better part of the last 2 decades.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Nene's checked in. And a switch here also for Houston. Capella's checked in. J.J. Barea is checked in for Dallas. Goodwin's checked in for Houston. And it's Houston on the break. Here's Harden. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
Parsons for 3, but they get it back. Out left to the wing. Felton goes in, kept alive, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Here's Harden. Some solid defense there by Nene. And here's the fast break. Felton leading the way.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And so that's the end of the first half. The Mavericks on top. They lead by 12. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the 3rd quarter after our halftime. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, he was in attack mode from the word go. Came out very aggressively in that first half.
Take a look at his shot chart. It looks like the ink spilled right at the rim. No reason for him to settle for anything less.
And And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Harden doing it all. 15 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more.
So on the floor for Houston, we've got Harden. Howard is out there with Marvin Williams. And there's Kemba Walker. And it's Batum in the 3 spot. For Darren Williams, the injury-riddled campaigns just keep piling up.
Yeah, it's almost difficult to watch considering how good he was when he was healthy. I mean, you're talking about one of the most explosive players in the game over the last decade at the point guard spot. But the injuries, hard to overcome.
Harden draws the double. Shot is no good. Parsons with some nice D.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Now Harden following the miss by Chandler Parsons from deep. From deep. The Rockets again can't hit.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
Pachulia kicks to Nowitzki. Dallas moving it around. Takes the 3. And Williams with the basket on the assist by Nowitzki. And that's now 8 points for Darren Williams.
And you know, one thing about Darren Williams, he used to get to the charity stripe at will. At the height of his career, he's averaging almost 6 free throws a game. The last couple seasons, he's been down around 3.
Timeout called, the Rockets. And Clark, for Darren Williams, it clearly has the handle and the strength to get to the basket, but no longer the explosion that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, you know, he's had some ankle injuries, and that certainly is a part of that. And he's also in his 30s now, so largely a perimeter jump shooter, but still can impact the game with his deep shooting and playmaking.
Now, here's Walker. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Batum. That's good. And so Howard with the assist.
That one goes down, but offensively, just 1 of 4 to start the third quarter.
Rebound, Kemba Walker. Walker's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. It's Harden with the drive. Williams dishes to Walker. Over in the corner, Batum. Again, Batum missing.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
He dishes it to Howard. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
That's an inexcusable mistake, guys. That's not the way to get back in the game.
And I don't know if anybody can tell you what he was thinking, because I certainly have no idea.
Muhammad, he's checked in for Chandler Parsons. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Mavs made the playoffs again last season. 14th playoff berth for them in the last 15 years, and only the San Antonio Spurs have made more, Greg, over that time frame.
Yeah, and they had a tough first-round opponent in the number 2 seed, Houston. A good old Texas tussle between the 2 and the 7 seeds.
Powell, he's checked in for Dallas. Barea comes in for Muhammad. Now here's Batum. He has 6. And Dirk Nowitzki gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Nene, he's checked in for Dallas. And then for Houston, Capella's checked in. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Williams. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Felton's checked in. Rockets trail by 19. The Rockets again can't hit.
And how many extra possessions have they gotten because of that rebounding edge?
Well, it's been a bunch, and I think it's made the difference in the game. I mean, they've actually done a great job on the board.
And for Raymond Felton, last year was nothing short of a disaster. Missed the first 31 games with an ankle injury sustained in preseason. And he played for a poor team. And things, you know, Greg, being the leader, the ball handler like you were, they just never got much better for Felton as the season went on.
Yeah, the problem when you have that issue early on, the season isn't going to wait for you.
Right.
You know, you're basically in catch-up mode, and so because of that, he never got into any kind of a rhythm when he was available to play. And that's not surprising, given that he averaged less than 10 minutes a game for the season after averaging 33 a game for his entire career.
Batum, good.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Temple, the pass to Capella. Wesley Matthews on the wing. Shoots. And Dallas again with the bucket.
And, you know, getting back to Raymond Felton, it looked at one point like he would become the league's next great playmaker. Drafted 5th overall in 2005, immediately after Darren Williams and Chris Paul. Felton never quite reached the stratosphere of his fellow draft mates.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And one last thought about Raymond Felton. I really feel like he's at that classic crossroads in one's career. If his conditioning is there, if he's healthy, he still has the skills and the moxie to make a difference. It just comes down to him wanting to make that effort, which gets harder after a decade of wear and tear on your body.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Lee's checked in. Houston with a big group substitution here. And Mbaamute's checked in for Capella. Williams comes in for Nicholas Batum. Curry's checked in for Garrett Temple. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Goodwin. Here's Lee. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Williams with the block. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. Williams kicks to Mbaamute. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
Dallas ball.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
Parsons checked in for Raymond Felton. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Parsons for three. And the basket good. Parsons got 11. And as we conclude the... And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Devin Harris is out there with Muhammad. Then there's Chandler Parsons. Then it's David Lee. And it's Powell in the power forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. That one goes. Count it.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Devin Harris. And so it's Houston with it.
Certainly not the performance that I thought we'd get out of them in this half. They haven't been very effective on offense, especially in their half-court game. I mean, when you're not able to get out and run, then you've got to be solid in the half-court.
And for a long time in the NBA, the stretch four was kind of the anomaly and not the standard. Now it seems that you are the rare power forward if you can't hit a three. Very few traditional power forwards now in the NBA.
Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Parsons. Harden dishes to Walker. Capella, the pass to Howard. Right through the D for the layup. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. No one near Felton as he lets it go. Off target from outside. The Rockets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. And Walker kicks to Howard. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Walker.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth.
That's what I like, a nice, strong finish inside.
That's what he does. He's got that dunker mentality.
My goodness, physicality personified right there. Able to just go up and finish over the biggest defender.
It's Harden with the drive. Shot's good.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
It's rebounded by Dallas.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
And you can learn a lot about rebounding by watching this guy. Look at the fundamentals there on the box out.
What a beautiful pass to set that one up.
The pass might have been pretty, but the finish, I thought, Clark, angry.
That's a heck of a combination. Pretty pass and an angry punch.
And that's what makes the alley-oop such a terrific play when you're able to execute it.
And stolen by Felton. And Muhammad throws it down.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
5 on the clock.
Well, we all know that #1 overall picks are incredibly valuable. I mean, they can change the course and face of an entire franchise. Last season, the playoffs were full of teams that featured #1 overall picks.
And it's Lee penetrating. Shoots. And there's Felton. That's good on the assist by Harris. Harris has got 3 assists in the game. Now here's Harden. Left side Walker. Pass to Capella. Dishes to Harden. Lets it go from deep. Houston gets it back. Howard, the pass to Harden. Another miss by Harden.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage in. As a result, they've got a big lead.
J.J. Barea is checked in for Dallas. Muhammad, no luck. And guys, teams with the #1 overall pick tend to go very deep in the playoffs. Just the nature of how the NBA lottery and rebuilding structure works.
Yeah, and in the playoffs last season, every team in the conference semis but one had a #1 overall pick on their roster. So that one team was the Grizzlies.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
And there's the call on Felton. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their teams. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs. Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Mavericks.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And it'll mark their 4th win on the year. Actually, their 5th win on the year.
And a great team effort, but still, what an individual performance for Parsons. You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see his imprint put all over it.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. To illustrate just how strong the point guard position is right now, Greg, in the NBA, just take a look at the point guards who did not make the All-Star team a season ago. Wow.
You know, in both conferences, it's almost as if we're in the midst of a point guard renaissance for the NBA. I mean, MVP Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, CP3 out west, John Wall, Kyrie Irving in the East. Boy, I could go on and on with the great players at that position.
Lets it go from 11 offline. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team, Clark, by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin. They certainly gave their fans plenty to scream and holler about. This place was rocking. It was on fire. And it only got louder as that lead got bigger.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.